A critical part of any builder's business is knowing what's going on in the market around him. And if he's smart, he'll rely on realtors to help him understand that. But at the same time, the realtors need to understand the tools they have available to them to help that builder and help that buyer in some cases. If it's a resale home and they're representing a customer directly, help them understand what's happening in their market. And you do that through an acronym called a CMA. It actually stands for Comparable Market Analysis. Everyone in the real estate industry uses that term lightly and says, give me a CMA. They think it's a market study, but let me help you understand something. It's not just a market study, it's actually a wealth of information. Most realtors don't recognize how powerful it can be. For example, this is a CMA that was done for me by a group out of, I think in this case it was either Alabama or Louisiana. But notice, if I flip through this, you'll see notes all over this where I've written things and written summaries and made notes to myself. Those are information that's helping me give a recommendation to the builder. If your realtor doesn't give you, or you as a realtor, if you're not using a CMA for this type of information to be able to educate your buyer or your builder, you're not fully utilizing the strength of that CMA. For example, one of the items on here is days on market, DOM. If a home sells in 7 days, is that a good thing? Most people say, yes, that's great. I sold that house in 1 week. The reality of it is you sold the home for too little money. If a home sells inside of 30 days, it was underpriced. So you as a realtor owe it to your buyer to get them the very best price. If it's a builder you're representing, you don't want that builder to have to take a cut in his price. You don't want that builder to leave profit on the table, leave money on the table. Educate that builder as to the days on the market. Now, if the days on the market are 250 days on the market, then it may be overpriced. There's other elements involved. Does he have the right landscaping? Is the house painted the right color? Is the house presentable? Is the house too close to a busy street? I understand there are many aspects that help sell a home, but utilize the tools that you've got. Don't take the bottom right-hand corner of most CMAs. When you do a CMA as a realtor, there's a summary chart, and in the bottom right-hand corner of that summary chart, it states average sales price, average days on market, average dollars per square foot. If you're taking that number and multiplying it times the square footage of the home that you're trying to represent and sell, and you're giving that buyer, that client of yours, advice to sell that home exactly for that average, you've just insulted them without even knowing it. You've just said, your home is average. Your home has nothing more to offer than what the other homes in the community have. And you're also letting the house down the street that was a corporate relocation, or where there might have been a divorce, or there might have been a foreclosure that sold way below market. That home is factoring into that average. You need to go through and throw those out. If it's something that sold at $130 a foot and everyone else in the community is $160 a foot, throw out the low one. At the same time, if you've got a house at the end of the street on the water that sells for $225 a foot, but everybody else is at $160, throw that one out. Don't let it skew the averages. Don't live by the averages. Look at the market. With the world being in the situation we've just recovered from, homes are selling quickly. Look at the number of homes available for sale. Look at the number of listings in your area. If there's no inventory and you're the only game in town, you've got the only 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath on the market on the right street, price it above the highest selling price. You can always come down in price, you can't go up. So why not give your buyer, your client, give the person who you're representing the opportunity to negotiate in a good way. Because you thought the home was going to sell for $350, you priced it at $400, you sold it at $375. You just made your client $25,000 extra they weren't counting on. Be the hero. Don't be the person that just says, I sold your house in 2 days. That's not a good thing. Take 30 days, take the time. Hold the buyer accountable, make sure their house is clean, make sure it shows well, make sure it's got a good curb presentation. But at the same time, give them the information that you have access to, give them the right information to make an informed decision, an educated decision, and help them get the most money for their home. That's how you can benefit from a CMA if you use it correctly.